It was just another ordinary night. Dinner was ready. The house was quiet, as it always was. My husband was finishing the dishes while I sat on the sofa, flipping through a magazine without really reading it. He'd had a long day at the office, and though he tried to be affectionate, I could tell his mind was somewhere else. Then I heard the front door open and his voice coming from upstairs. Something inside me shifted. "I'm home," my son said from the doorway. His voice was deeper now, but still held that sweet teenage softness. I looked up and saw him. My son, or at least that's what biology said. Because in that moment, as he took off his jacket and dropped his backpack to the floor, I didn't see the little boy I'd raised. I saw the young man he'd become. I don't know what came first, the warmth rising in my cheeks or the way he looked at me. Just a second, a fraction of a second, but it was enough to stir something deep inside me. I blinked, trying to push away the thought that had slipped in uninvited, like a shadow that didn't belong there. I scolded myself silently, smiled, and asked how his day had been. He answered naturally, with no idea that behind my calm words, my heart was racing, as if I'd already crossed the line just by noticing him that way. But it wasn't the first time. Not even close. For months, maybe even years, I'd been feeling something I couldn't name, something I refused to admit. As he grew taller, stronger, more confident, I began seeing him with different eyes. And it wasn't just hormones or some fleeting confusion. It was something more complicated, more human. It was attraction, intense, unexpected, forbidden attraction. He never knew. He never even suspected. He was kind, respectful, loving. He called me mom with that special tenderness only children have when they want to make their mothers feel cherished. But every time he did, I shivered, not with maternal pride, but with guilt, with fear, with longing. I tried to convince myself it was normal, that all mothers feel strange things sometimes, that it's natural to miss who your children used to be as they grow up. But this wasn't nostalgia. This was something else. A constant tension in my chest, an electric current running through my body whenever he walked into the room, like I was walking a tightrope between love and something risky, not knowing which was more dangerous. I tried to distract myself. I went out with friends again, signed up for night classes, even started keeping a journal to pour out my feelings, but nothing worked. Every word I wrote somehow circled back to him, to what I wasn't supposed to feel. One afternoon, while cleaning his room, he was already 1'8", I found a photo of him from high school, standing with his friends. He was smiling with that new confidence he'd gained. Messy hair, bright eyes. I stared at it too long. Then I heard his footsteps in the hallway. I quickly put the photo back in the drawer and pretended I was just tidying up. He walked in and greeted me with that smile that warmed me. He was sweaty, he'd just been running, and wore a t-shirt clinging to his body, showing muscles that hadn't been there before. He sat on the bed and grabbed a water bottle, drank slowly. So slowly, and I couldn't look away. That's when I realized I couldn't keep pretending. I needed help. This was more than just an impulse. It was an inner storm threatening to disrupt everything. So I decided to see a therapist. I told my husband I needed emotional support for work stress. He nodded, kissed my forehead, and said I should do whatever I needed. The therapist was young and kind. She listened for hours. I never mentioned my son directly. I only spoke of inappropriate feelings, confusing emotions, and attraction I couldn't control. She didn't judge me. She comforted me. She told me I wasn't alone, that many people face inner battles they can't share with anyone. She helped me understand that feeling this way didn't make me a bad person. Acting on it would. I left her office in tears, but also with a strange kind of peace. I thought I'd found a way to live with it, to contain it, to carry it without letting it consume me. But then, one night, everything changed. My husband had to travel for work. He left us alone, just the two of us, for 3 days. At first, everything seemed normal. We had dinner together, watched movies, laughed like always. But there was a different energy in the air. Maybe because we were alone, or maybe because we both felt something growing slowly between us. That night, after the movie, he stayed sitting close to me. My husband returned earlier than expected. I heard the door open and froze. My son, who'd been beside me, jumped up and went to his room. I stayed there, paralyzed, as my husband's footsteps grew closer. He looked at me and noticed something. I don't know what. Maybe my flushed face or the look in my eyes. But something concerned him. "Are you okay?" he asked. I nodded, too quickly. He didn't say anything else. But that night he watched me, and I knew. He sensed that something had changed. He started questioning my son, asking us separately where we'd been, what we'd done. Our stories didn't quite match until one small detail unraveled everything. A message on my son's phone. A message from me. "I love you. I love you so much it hurts." I hadn't deleted it. I didn't even remember sending it. But there it was, and my husband read it. What followed was chaos, shouting, anger boiling over. Questions neither of us could answer without making things worse. My son cried. I cried. My husband asked us to leave the house. We left. No clothes, no money. Just pain and guilt. We stayed in a cheap hotel for weeks, trying to make sense of what had happened, but there was none. No excuse, no justification. Only the raw truth of the choices we'd made.